Hey guys, welcome back to Smells Like Teen Angst. I'm Keiki, and today we're going to be talking about Season 3, Episode 3 of The Summer I Turned Pretty. Let's get into it. Okay, before we get into it, remember, like, subscribe, comment down below, be my friend, or you can just listen to me because I need to rant about this one. Coming off of last week, we had some craziness happen for the whole Cousins crew. Conrad lost his job. Jeremiah has to do another semester of school. Everybody is cheating. The parents are fucking again. And Steven gets in a car accident. Belly gets proposed to. Oh my God, so sweet. Yay. All my jellyfish fans, like, we must be in love, right? Wrong. Look, I know it happened in the book, but this isn't how it happened. And this is so in earnest. And believe me, everyone at Smells Like Teen Angst, aside from me, is probably cheering at the fact that I am losing my faith in Jeremiah a little bit, okay? It's been a constant battle. Get your hands out of my... It has been a constant battle in this circle. I've been holding tight to the beautiful character that was built in this show, only for him to fall apart in the last hour. Sir, do you even like her? Does anybody even like each other anymore in the show? First off, the chemistry this season is complete ass. Everybody hates each other. That is evident. I know we did a time jump, but I mean, I don't grow up and then all of a sudden hate my friends more. The inside jokes get a little meaner, but this is just a whole nother level of why are we doing this? Everyone in this group needs to take like a 10-year break and never talk to each other and then invite each other to their weddings and then like rekindle at some point because they need space. Now that I've got all of that out, let's get into episode 3. This episode starts off putting my ick factor so high, and I tried so hard to never let this be a problem for me. But we open on Belly and Jeremiah, and they're like post-honeymoon coital bliss in bed, and the soundtrack is Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. I know I'm not the only one who has complained about the music all season. Maybe it's a choice. Maybe it's supposed to feel wrong. Maybe it's, I don't care. All I know is that that song, in my interpretation and the way I feel like Billie Eilish presented it, is a sibling song. So seeing people make out to it just feels icky. On top of that, Jeremiah hops out of bed and re-proposes to Belly and hands her a literal microchip for a ring. I mean, I was over here like, what was, is that a toenail? Is that an earring backing? It was not good. And I understand they're children. I get that they are 20. But let's be real. These are affluent kids, okay? It is not cheap to live on a coast. It is not cheap to go to Princeton. The mother is an author. Jeremiah's dad is some big VC company owner. Like, I know that he could spend money like water and it wouldn't matter. I mean, he's in a frat, for God's sakes. As a sorority girl, I can tell you, Greek life is expensive, okay? He could have spent more than that on this little fleck of a ring and it would have gone unnoticed. He could have said, Dad, it was dues for my frat. Go vintage. Do something. Anything but what was done. Moving on, Taylor is still reeling from Steven's accident, them deciding not to move forward with any type of relationship. And she's like, hey, you're being kind of weird, dude. Why are you so happy? And Belly's like, I'm getting married. And this is when Taylor becomes the realest person in this show, because her first response is, you're pregnant. No, it's because your brother almost died. No, it's because I'm in love. Girl, you just found out he cheated on you. You were just broken up like less than 48 hours ago, and now you're engaged? That's a big step. And of course, Belly, being childish, even though I thought we fast forwarded in time, just grabs her drink and leaves. Then we proceed to this car ride home with the most ridiculous VO of her making herself even more juvenile on this drive home, where she's like, I just want to tell my daddy that I'm engaged. And I've never called him, I haven't called him daddy in forever. But he's my daddy. Girl. Moving on, the mode of this episode is remembrance for our dear Susanna, aka Bex. I miss this character dearly. I truly believe she was such a gem. She liked to party. She made sure it was cute and fun. She had personality. She gave good advice. The world is an empty place without Susanna. Everyone meets up in Cousins. Jeremiah gives his big speech that was supposed to be so heartfelt. It just felt really in earnest for a 21-year-old. And then again, with the ick factor, he says, my mom believed anybody you loved was family, and looks dead at Belly. And just putting more family into this doesn't really feel good to me. Like I said, I've suspended my belief from the beginning. These kids are allowed to be together. They are not related, but they're making it feel incestuous, feeling very cousin-like. And then to top it off, Conrad and Jeremiah's dad shows up, King douchebag, and says, Conrad, look, your little sister Belly is here. He knows they dated. Ick factor at like a 9 now. This whole episode comes to a crescendo at a dinner in honor and remembrance of Susanna. We see Conrad and Jeremiah's dad make an ass out of himself because in the parents being petty and congratulating their kids back and forth, Conrad and Jeremiah's dad proceeds to tear down Jeremiah, forcing Belly to want to stand up for her man and say, well, he has a great thing going on for him. It's me. We're getting married. Peep the jewelry. And the hardware couldn't even be seen. It couldn't even be seen when she held it to the camera, y'all. Only for her mom to say, absolutely not, hell no, because that is the proper response. Overall, this entire episode left me wondering, did we actually fast forward in time? Because no one has grown the fuck up. Maybe Conrad, but in a way, him keeping his distance from this chaos tornado that is his family for so long is kind of immature too. But instead, he distanced himself and then hard shocks himself into this mess. And then as a very smooth icing on the cake, everything ends with everyone being dragged by their parents out of the restaurant. And we leave Conrad at the restaurant. I've never felt bad for you because you've done some dickish shit. But like, I am on bated breath waiting for your crash out this season. You deserve to crash out. In this episode, we do get a chance to see Conrad being brought back into the fold. We really haven't had much of him in the season. And when we cut to him, kind of going through it in California, we end up discovering that with the friend he has, he probably needs a little exposure therapy to get over his unrequited love with Belly. And as much as he wants to say, well, easy for you to say, she's actually the perfect person to say that to him because she was once in love with Conrad, and he wanted nothing to do with that. And now they're friends, thus proving you can move on. And truly, Jeremiah needs a friend like that. Someone to be real with him, because the only person checking you shouldn't be your dad. Things are really dysfunctional. And then, of course, because we're in the final hour, the show is trying to give Taylor a different storyline other than Steven. So we throw in her meddling mother and a failed salon as a new hurdle for Taylor to have to help get through. I mean, those are just my thoughts on episode 3. I may have gone a little deep. I may have complained pretty hard, but I'm still waiting for this series to pick up. I know that in the past couple of seasons, the trend has typically been around episode 4, things really take off. The show is slow to start, but this setup has been the roughest for me because we are breaking down my favorite character. You guys tell me what you think of episode 3. What are your hopes for the rest of this season? Because you know mine. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think. I will see you guys on the next one. Or maybe the next one after that, because we should take turns. Anyway, bye.